Hey guys, it's Luke from RetroRevival here, and today it is Christmas Day, which means I am back in Chunkyland. Now, Chunkyland actually started 5 years ago. I actually stopped doing it in, I think, 2016. I think maybe even 2017. But yeah, it's in Minecraft, still on the Xbox 360, and this world has grown so much that over every new building there is a piece of glowstone. Now, I just want to add that I have actually turned off the sound and the music for this, because in last year's episode, which I'm going to put up in the card now, the music sort of just overpowered my voice, and so did some of the sounds, so I've just turned them off. So I said all the new buildings have glowstone above them, and I'm going to start in my own house. Now, there have been some changes in here. The first off, this was an empty room the last time, and now it is an enchanting room, which actually looks pretty cool. I've also got my Christmas tree in the middle, and of course here's my bedroom. It's been the same 4 years, and finally I've added something in this room, and this is my music room, and I've got a guitar up on the wall, got a jukebox, I've got a drum kit, which originally I did have in this world a long time ago, and I think this looks pretty cool. It's supposed to be a grand piano, and I think I've actually done a pretty good job translating it into Minecraft. Now, next up, we can come downstairs, and this has changed a bit as well. Of course, we've got the Christmas tree. This is the bottom half. We've still got the dogs in here, but now this little alleyway leads to another exit of my house, and the other rooms have swapped around a bit as well. So now, instead of the cat room, I have just like a laundry room with this really cool looking washing machine and just a counter here so I can do some work. This room stayed the same, and I think his name is Jeremy. The iron golem's here. The kitchen stayed the same, and then through here is where the cats are, with this sort of like cat hotel thing. I thought it looked kind of cool, and a little tray in the corner. Now, you'd think that'd be it, but actually there is a change down in the basement. In fact, there are two changes. There's that one and the one through the painting. I'm going to do through the painting first because that's less impressive than the other one. Now, if you go right to the bottom of here, I know I'm flying, but I can't be asked to just do it all in survival. If you go through here, there is a underground bunker, which I just added in because I thought it'd be cool, and I'm running out of ideas. But what's down this staircase, you wouldn't actually believe is in my house, because you can't see it at all from anywhere outside, and I absolutely love this. Now, if you go down this staircase, you're transported into this room. And this patterned floor is supposed to represent The Shining, which is my favourite horror film. And this isn't completely done yet. I still need to add more doorways, but there's 2 doorways and a massive open area. And if you go around the corner, boom, you're at the blood elevators. I mean, I know it's water, but, you know, it's supposed to symbolise the blood. Now, I think this is really cool. I just like, in Minecraft, going to somewhere where it could actually be the film. And I've got to be honest, in the last year, I've added a lot more references in my world, and also a lot more brands. So you've got the blood elevator, and through here, you've got the men's bathroom where Delbert Grady and Jack actually have their conversation, and the other doorway leads to the twins in the corridor, and I think this kind of looks cool. I prefer the other ones, to be honest, because they're more detailed and they look better, but this one's still cool and it's an iconic scene. Yeah, so you couldn't quite believe that there's this massive room hidden under my house. So guys, I've just switched to creative because I realised it's going to be a right pain actually mining each block, like each glowstone block, because I'm going to do it as like a visual checklist. So, boom, it's gone. So the next place that is new and it has a piece of glowstone over it is the rabbit hutch, and I've just moved it from over there to here, and it's exactly the same. I've just moved it. The next place is my aviary, and I've got loads of parrots, and I think this looks kind of cool. There's one up on the perch over there, which I think looks cool, and yeah, it's just small, compact, and it fits well into my world. Next up, we've got to go past the train station and the typical townhouses. I've just continued over here just to fill some space. Now, up on this mountain is actually a little cabin. There's a little entrance down there which leads you up into this little cabin, but this is the main cabin. It looks kind of cool. It's kind of a cool overlook on my world. I like the trapdoor, like, fence around the outside, because it just looks kind of cool. It's a very small and basic cabin, but I just think it looked kind of cool up on this hill. Now, the next glowstone block is just some more townhouses, and to be honest, this area just around here is just townhouses. But I do really like the design of these townhouses. I think I've done a pretty good job. I think that's why I put them everywhere. Right, so we found another glowstone block, and this place is in fact a vegan restaurant. Yes, a vegan restaurant. This shows that I'm really running out of ideas. But it actually looks kind of cool inside. I have done this restaurant design just with different colours around the place. And this is a vegan restaurant. Another glowstone block is in the air. Therefore, it's another new thing in my world, and it's more townhouses. But with this one, it's got a cool extra little hangover over this little ledge. So it's a little bit different. This next little glowstone block is hanging up here, and underneath it is a tennis court. And this looks really cool, because I'm just going to go on like ground level. You can't actually see it like from anywhere pretty much. Like all the way around it is just trees. So it's sort of like a hidden little area. And I really like the idea it's sort of hidden in this big city. Right, I'm going to be honest, I really don't have any order just to go around all of this. So I'm just going to do it whenever I see a block. I've also added in a lot of paths and some like canals and bridges and stuff like that. And I'll quickly show you them like when I come to them. Here's our next place, and it looks like another townhouse, but I have changed it up a bit. So here we actually have shops underneath. In this one, it is a fishmonger's. In the next one, it is a butcher's, and I think this place looks really nice. And if you go up the stairs by the side of it, you can either go in here, or where you're supposed to go in here, and it's like a private cinema, where they show like indie films, and through here, it's just a projector and a place to buy refreshments. I thought it was really cool that I was able to add like a little cinema in this tiny space, but I think it actually looks pretty cool, and I'm happy how it turned out. Now next up is this huge police station, and I think it looks pretty cool. It's got a helipad. There's not really much to add to this, it's just a police station. Now let's fly over the river, and here's one of the bridges that I'm talking about. They're all made out of like dark oak and birch wood, and I think this looks really cool. I like the darkness of it, which sounds a bit emo and edgy. But I just like the dark wood, and I think it looks really nice. So here is just another group of townhouses. I know I've gone a bit berserk with these, and it's not the last you're going to be seeing of them. But yeah, they just add a lot to the city. And you know, if it's a city, you've got to have a lot of places for people to live. Now, if you cross the river again to this blue building, you must be thinking, what the hell is this? This is an industrial laundromat. This is another reference to something I love, and it's a reference to Breaking Bad. Now here, Walter creates his lab underneath this laundromat, and I've done it in quite a clever way. So if you come over here, you step on this pressure plate, it opens up the side of this washing machine, and you go down, and you go through this little tunnel, and through two doors, and boom, you're in Walter White's lab. Another thing you wouldn't even believe is hidden underground because of its size, and I think this looks really cool. And it's pretty accurate to the show. Now, there's actually a lot of space around here where I can do stuff in the future. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but it might be in next year's video. Now, just across the river, we've got these, and these are sort of like storage garages. Now, in this one, it's sort of like a gym and a wrestling school. And in the one next to it, it's sort of just like a band practice area. You've got some mics, keyboards, you've got some guitars up on the wall. You've got the equipment boxes, amps, and a drum kit. Now next up is a great build, and I absolutely love this, and I think it's turned out really well. And this is a horse race track, and yeah, so you can just see like the hurdles they have to go over, and there's water behind it just like in the real horse races, and you've got the places to sit here, and I've actually used this design in other buildings. And in fact, there's even a toll booth where you can buy your tickets or even bet on like the horses or whatever. Now, quite appropriately, next door to it is a stables where I keep all my horses, and they've all been coloured, been given different armour for their like rank, because what I'm trying to do is make the ultimate horse. So you've got the like the jumping here, and this is the highest they've been able to go so far. It's just 3 blocks, but I'm trying to get it up to the maximum, which is 5, and even a speedometer for the horses. Now next up right here is something called Jump Zone, and as you can see through the glass, it is a trampoline park, and I absolutely love this. I think it looks so cool. I wish it was in a different area now, to be honest, but you know, it still looks really cool in my city. And we've just got a few more blocks of just townhouses, and off to the side, even more townhouses. Now by these townhouses, the police station, and my pizza parlour, there is another train station leading to the main one, which I showed last year, and I just added another one. Now, if you go down here, this is a bit that I've recently started building, and it's supposed to be like a quiet part, because you've got like the residential area, and this is like the really intimate and quiet place. So you've got a chapel, next to that is the graveyard, and then opposite to this you just have this blacksmiths, and I eventually want to just build out on this so it's like a cool quiet area of the city. Now next up I want to take you down by the library, because this has changed ever so slightly. Most of these are the same except from this one on the end. Now this was a DVD shop, but now it's just for places where you can just photocopy stuff if you don't have a printer or a photocopier in your own home. And this is a reference to Better Call Saul. Jimmy commits fraud and he goes to a place like this to do that. Now, right at the end of this is this little tunnel looping around to behind these houses, because we now have these apartment buildings, and I think these look awesome. And it's nice to just have some taller buildings in the world, and they look like they actually belong in a city. Now, this is going to seem like very choppy because I'm just flying around the world to different places, but there's really no order I can do this in. So I've just come over here again by like this jungle area to show you the next building. And this is a clothes shop. It's supposed to be really nice, but it just hasn't come out very well. You got some armor stands in the windows, and I thought it'd be cool to have like water, like going behind them. Yeah, there's really not much going on in here, and it's not one of my best builds, but you know, it still kind of cool. Now, what was here was the prison, but the prison has moved once again. I think it's like the 4th time I've moved the prison, and now it's a fireworks shop, and it's supposed to look like a firework, of course. Now we have some back alleyways, and of course I showed you the tunnel that goes down to the theme park, which I will be going to later on. But as I was saying, there's a little path that leads behind all these buildings, and I like to call this Secret Street, because you wouldn't even know that these are here. And there are 2 buildings that are just tucked away, and this is still being worked on, but this is an Italian restaurant. Opposite to that is this building surrounded by flowers, and this is supposed to be a hairdresser's, and these are supposed to be like mirrors. Now there's a barber's and a hairdresser's now. And now this is another change. There was a fire station here, but I've now got a new fire station which is way better. And that's one thing I've tried to do, is I've just tried to plant a load of trees, just because it looked sort of empty, and I like the way that the trees look. And you know, you've got to be eco-friendly and all that stuff. Now you go past the zoo, and I've planted more trees where there used to be a building. Now there used to be a phone shop here, but that's now changed because it's somewhere else. So I've just planted loads of trees. And now there were a few more buildings around here, but they've also moved, and I've just planted more trees in their place. And now, this building was actually in the last episode, but I completely forgot to show you it. So I'm going to delete that block, and this is supposed to be a sushi restaurant. And if you go in, this is supposed to be like the conveyor belt that they send the food around on. Although you'd find it very hard to actually take food off this because of how fast it's going. And I like how just grand it looks when you look up. Now, just to the side of this, we've got more townhouses, but opposite is a skate park, and I've been playing skate a lot this year, so I was thinking like, yeah, let's just put in a skate park. And it looks really cool, I think. I think you can sort of see what they're supposed to be. And then this is what I'm talking about. Look, we've got like a little canal system going through the city, and we got another one of these dark oak bridges which leads to this area where I have just got a load of different townhouses, but these are more like actual houses, and I think the design looks really cool on these, and I've just done loads of these, and it actually looks really cool in just this little area. And now this is like a natural river with another bridge just going across, and there's a load of area which I've just flattened out, and there's a massive lake there just leading between like the 2 rivers, and I haven't done anything with this yet. And in fact, leading from this little cul-de-sac, there is another tunnel that leads through the hills and to another group of houses which are identical, just the other side of the lake. Next to these is the tennis arena, and I think this looks really cool from the outside, especially when you hover over it like this, because it sort of has like a circular like edge to it. And the seats just look really cool, and it just looks really striking. And you also have a ticket booth there. Now this is actually the connection to the other side of the canal, with a bridge connecting to the other side. And I haven't actually connected this up to the path yet, but you know, there's another bridge. There's just loads of bridges, and the main river's there, and this is like the canal leading through, because I really wanted to have like the river flowing through the city, and that part of the city's already too built up to do that with. So I was thinking, let's do it beforehand, before we build all these other buildings. So let's get back to the buildings, and we've got more townhouses, and even more townhouses, but these look cooler because they're by the river. Now, I'm trying my hardest not to show you what's behind me, but what's in front of me is another cinema which I'm building, but this is still being built. Now, here is the new prison, and as you can see, the building is the same, but now it's got walls around the outside with, like, little watch outs, and I think this is a lot more realistic now, because I've actually been watching Orange is the New Black a lot as well, and I've added this little part on to the main bit. It's just like a visiting area where the inmates can visit their family. And I thought I'd come back over here, and God, I'm really trying to not show you the bit behind me, but there's just another part of the river which leads into another part of the river, and this is artificially made, but I think it actually looks really cool how it sort of loops around here, and there's like a little docking area, and it also leads into the main part of the river. I've also sort of modernised the village, because this is going to be built up around here. Now the next part, I need to fly all the way over here into the mountains, because I did something, I don't know why I actually did this, but I've created a dam, and as the world loads in, you're going to be able to see it. Here it is, and I wish I could have done more to make this look cooler, but I actually think it looks kind of cool. And I filled up all of this with water. I don't know why I did this. Still trying the hardest not to show you what is behind me. Now, these little white boxes are places where buildings are going to be built. So here is an Apple store, and this is why I got rid of the phones shop, because now I actually have a branded shop, and it actually looks really cool. Next to that, we actually have a really cool looking subway, and it's pretty obvious what it is when you walk past it. Then you got what is supposed to be Blockbuster, and some people may not know what this is, but this is a place where you can go and rent movies. And I know what you're thinking, we have Netflix, why would we need to rent movies? And this is an old thing, and this is what replaced the DVD shop, just because I thought it was cooler than just having another boring looking building. Then next to that we have a chemist's, not really much to say here. Next to that we have a really nice and cute looking post office, and I've been adding these little post boxes around. Now just next to this, tucked down here, we have a fishing shop, and I sort of tried to make this look a bit kind of sad, but this is literally what they look like. They look like a sort of rundown cabin, so you know. And next to it you have sort of like a dock, but also a little fishing area. It's quite peaceful and nice. And then next to that we have our, now, I think the biggest building in the city, which was that, but now it's this skyscraper, and it actually looks cooler. I like the colour scheme more. It's got more detail. It's got a little peak on top. It's got this little balcony, and the side is sort of like curved up to a point, and it really sticks out. Now it's actually pretty hard to see this one, but it's actually a Nike shop, or a Nike, I don't know how you want to say it, just tucked in here. I said I'd go in on loads of brands, and I have. Now next up is a French restaurant, and it's pretty much identical to the other ones, but it's got a French flag, and the colours are different. Now next up is my town hall, and this was in the last episode, but I've actually changed the inside, but you guys won't know that because I didn't show you the inside last time. But the only change is that now it's got a basement. So if you just go down, there's 3 different rooms. We've got a historical vault. We have a historical archive where it's just a load of books, which are supposed to look like files. We have the Parks and Recreation department, because I've started watching a show called Parks and Rec, and I've absolutely loved it. I finished it very quickly, which is strange because the show is pretty long. There's a lot of episodes, and just in here, it's just a load of offices, and it says Office of R. Swanson and Office of L. Nope. Now down by the stairs is the courtroom, and you have like this little waiting area outside, and then you go in, and bam, it's the courtroom. You have where the judge would stand, and you have where the plaintiff and the defendant would stand, and where all the audience, I guess, because I watch a lot of TV judge shows, which is kind of sad when you think about it, but that's where they would sit. So next up, let's fly over here past the Nike shop, and let's get rid of this block, because now we have an ice cream parlour, and this looks really cool. It's pretty nice to see the ice creams up there, but opposite this is one of my favourite buildings now. Boom. The new firehouse. This puts that other one to shame, and this is pretty much a replica of the one from Ghostbusters, which is my favourite movie of all time, so I had to put this in, and it just looks absolutely incredible. Now it's time to come back down here And we have a McDonald's, because McDonald's is amazing, and I think everyone knows that. And now behind the chemist is a baseball court, slash sort of like arena, I guess. And I think this looks really cool. I don't really watch baseball, but you know, running out of ideas. And then just by this is the river with another bridge, and this little pathway just leads up to the apartment buildings, which I showed you earlier. Behind the McDonald's is just Krispy Kreme. Then next to that we have a sweet shop, and then next to that we have a toy shop, which is obviously supposed to look like Toys R Us. R.I.P. Toys R Us. Then next to this we have KFC. Opposite this we have a casino, and this is supposed to look like a slot machine but with pigs, and I think it looks pretty cool. And the inside is pretty accurate. It's sort of dark and dingy around the outside. You have these roulette tables, some sort of like slot machine things, and a bar. And to be fair, the floor works perfectly in here. Then next to the casino we have a Taco Bell, and I've actually always wanted to eat a Taco Bell. We do actually have them in the UK, but they're just very hard to come by. It's not like it's in every town like McDonald's or Subway or KFC. They're actually pretty rare. Then just by the prison we have the shop Gimme Cheddar, which was in the last video, but it's been moved to here. And then right next to KFC is Domino's, and Domino's are great at making pizza. I mean, they're no Papa John's or Pizza Hut, but they're still pretty good. So now what I want to do is I'm going to fly over to the theme park, because I have actually done one thing there. Let's go through this rainbow tunnel which leads there. This is just the exact same tunnel I showed you in the last video, but it's just done with rainbows now. You just go around, and here's the chicken, and the ride's actually been complete. Here's the chicken, and the ride has actually been done. So what happens is you go up this little spiral, and you go through its mouth, into its head, and there's the brain. I think this is really cool. Then you drop inside, and you go around its rib cage. Here's sort of like its innards, which sounds kind of gross. And you plop out of its, you know, behind into a pile of poo, because haha, poo's funny. And then you sleep around to the beginning, and I thought this was a really cool idea. This is what I wanted to do, and now it's been done. Just by the theme park, it's something which I'm pretty sure I haven't showed before. It was here last time, and for some reason, I don't know why I built this, and it was a while ago. I just have a yacht for some reason. I just have a yacht now, I guess. And now it's time to show you my favourite thing that I built in this world, and I hope you guys are looking forward to seeing it. Are you guys ready? I'm going to spin around in 3, 2, 1. Boom! This is my favourite thing. This is a festival area. Now, I'm a big fan of music, and I've been to a festival, and I'm going to one next year, which I cannot wait until. And I thought this was really cool to add in. So let's start down here, where you have to go through here to get into the festival. Show them your ticket. You go through, and boom, you're in. So I'm actually going to go around this in detail, because I'm so proud of this. Here, you have a merch stand, because, you know, they try and flock you really expensive merch at these festivals. Next to it, you have the beer tent, because it's a festival and everyone drinks and everyone's going to get smashed. Next to that, you just have a row of portaloos. And then you have the main campsite with just loads of tents and flags and little campfires just scattered around. And if you go down here, you have these 2 food trucks which are selling different things. You've got some hay bales to sit down on. Then you have another merch stand. And here is the second stage. This is like the smaller stage. This is where the headliners wouldn't play. This is where the smaller bands would play. And it's just got a very basic setup. Just off stage, so you can't really see this, you have the control room where they're just doing all the technical stuff. Then under the stage, you just have like a little place for the bands to hang out. And then this little tunnel is like the secret area, because it goes behind the hill, so you can't see any of this. To these like little dock areas where you can just like pull in your boat, and you know, this is all secret and hidden away. And this is sort of like a little road to the back of the main stage, which I'm going to show you right now. If I fly over, I want to show you these rides first though. You've got a little Ferris wheel, and you've got one of these dropper things. And then you've got some more food trucks. It looks like a vegan one. I don't know why I've gone up with vegans for some reason. And just like a standard food place. If I'm going to spin around, this is the best thing I've built. Boom. Here's the main stage. This looks absolutely sick. I'm a big fan of metal music and rock, so I've sort of gone with like the rock colours. These side bits are supposed to be like the screens. You've got 2 screens up there. Of course with glowstone behind them so they light up. Then you have the main part of the stage where you have the mic. You have 2 guitars. You've got some amps lined up. And you got the drum kit on a drum riser. You've got the rafting up there. And of course you've got some more speakers just jotted around. Then you have like a little walkway for the singer to go. It splits off in like a Y shape. And then you've got the snake pit, which is what Metallica have for their gigs, which can be accessed by going around and going through like these little toll booths, I guess. I'm actually going to go backstage. So behind these speakers are just like these little ways to get backstage. And you have some more, just some screens and some more technical stuff. You have a makeup area where you get all your hair and makeup done. Go down here. Got some more equipment boxes. And a dressing room for the band, just decked out with a load of stuff. And then another walkway leading up to the stage. These barriers are supposed to indicate where the crowd goes. And then you got, I don't really know what to call this, it's sort of just like a tech tower, I guess you can call it. So you go through the bottom here. And I'm going to go right up to the top first. So you have like the lighting. These are supposed to be like the spotlights, the stage lights, whatever you want to call them. And you just shine them on when a gig's on. But the floor below is even cooler, because this switch does all the pyro. And I'm going to show you it now. Just flicker the switch a few times, and boom. There's a lot to take in. So what this does is it shoots up. So just by the snake pit, these shoot up fireballs which fly up into the air. These ones to the sides of the amps shoot up fireworks into the sky. And these two hidden ones by the drum risers just shoot up like, I don't know what you call it, sparks, fire, whatever you want to call it. So this is my favourite thing I've built. I think this stage looks absolutely awesome. I genuinely think this is the best thing I've built. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's on Christmas, this is coming out, and I'm going to do this every year now. Just an update on the world. And I hope you guys have loved this video. I know there's a lot of just going through stuff and you just seeing, but I just want to show you how much this world has actually grown. I like how last year I sort of acted like, oh my god, this world's so big. And I'm probably going to do this like next year. But this year, it just seems like this has got way bigger. And it's way bigger than I ever thought this would grow. But you know, I'm probably going to be saying that next year. But I just want to show you, like on the map, how much space this covers. Look at that. That is literally like a third of the map. That is insane. So guys, I hope you've had a good Christmas, and if you're not watching this around Christmas and you're watching it later on in the year, just have a good day, and I hope you had a good day. So guys, I've been Luke from RetroRevival. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all later. Bye.